Hello everyone, Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Now, it has been a while since I've done a redstone project, so what I thought I would do for today's video is, well, do a redstone project. So today, we will be working on a jungle temple. When planning out this redstone project, I had set a couple goals for myself. Goal number one, of course, was to limit the amount of redstone that was exposed, so I think I did a pretty good job of that. There are a couple places where the redstone is showing. And goal number two was to limit my redstone contraptions within the amount of rooms that I've been given. So the jungle temple has the first floor, the second floor, and then the basement. So I kept all my builds within those levels. There are no additional rooms. And enough chit chat, let's go ahead and take a look at what I came up with. So we are here at the front door, and you can already tell that there are no windows showing. Like I said, I did contain everything within the jungle temple, but I did have to make some modifications to the walls to hide everything. But if we go ahead and take a step inside, we are greeted with a little arrow trap. Yes, I know that is very cliche, so we do have a tripwire hook right there, and as soon as we trigger it, the wall drops and just riddles us with a bunch of arrows. So, moving along, we have nothing else going on here. You can see the walls have been pushed out, and if we make our way up, nothing too much going on right here. We do have this little area right here, just some decorations. Or is it? We'll keep that in mind just for a little bit later. But if we make our way over here, we have our next set of redstone contraptions. Now, I know where everything is, so these are just dud buttons here. But if we press this, you can hear we have a rotation going. So I know we need to press this 4 times. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. And once we do that, that reveals our hidden staircase. So we can go ahead and hop on down here, just like that. And now we are in the basement. So, nothing going on here. I did remove the levers, and let's go ahead. This has been covered up for quite some time. Now, let's say we're treasure hunters, right? So we want to be a little greedy. Let's say we're the greedy type. So we're going to go ahead and open up this chest right here. And there's nothing in it. And apparently I forgot to put something inside. Okay, let's go ahead and try that again. So we go down our staircase, and again we are the greedy type. So we're going to go ahead and open up this chest, and there's nothing inside, but we are greeted with some splash potions. So in here I have added a splash potion of harming, and then a splash potion of poison. So I'm not quite sure if that would kill the player or not, but then again, you shouldn't have been greedy, and yeah, you should have just left the chest alone. Moving along into the next area of the temple, we have this little floor trap right here. Now, for those of you who have seen my dungeon build, this will look very familiar. In the dungeon build, I did have fire charges, but this time, I equipped it with arrows. So how this works, we do have a selected path that we need to follow. If not, we will be hit with arrows. Now, I'm in creative, so I'm not taking any damage, but I do believe you can kind of see where to walk. And I learned my lesson from the first video because it was very dark. So you can actually see which path to take. Just like that. And if you noticed, the door has shut behind us. Let's go ahead and run all the way back across. So even if we wanted to leave, we can't. We're now stuck in this room. And let's go ahead and just run across like that. And now we get... Okay, I thought it opened up. I was like, I know I didn't wire it up to do that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this area. Now, this is a nod to the Last Crusade, where Indiana Jones had to pick the correct Holy Grail. So we know the guy picked the wrong one, and then he just withered away. So let's go ahead and pick the wrong one. Let's say, and let's grab another idol, because I'm just going to destroy it if I don't. There we go. So let's say we pick this idol. That is the wrong one. Some lava will be dispensed, and thankfully there is a safety zone right here. So, oh, apparently not. Nope, okay, we just get burned. So, that's fine. We can go ahead and put that one back. And then if we pick this one over here, this is going to do the exact same thing. So our lava will dispense. We can go ahead and close that back up. We don't need to see it twice. So the correct one to pick, in this case, is the center one. So we pick the correct one, and then we do have an exit that is revealed. Now for this one, if you kept in mind, let's go back. I'm just going to go ahead and break this. We'll take a look at all the redstone just a little bit later. So we did pick the middle one, and if we were keeping our eyes open, we can see right here that this was our clue. So that's why I was saying, is it a decoration or is it a hint? In this case, it was definitely a hint. And let's go ahead and run back through our little trap. And that's pretty much it. So we go ahead and climb up the ladder right here, and we are safely out of the temple. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the redstone behind it. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our first trap. Of course, once we walk in, we do have our hidden arrow turret. Now for those of you who caught the 12 days of redstone, this was one of the builds that I featured. So I will post a link to this build in the description below, as well as any other builds I have a tutorial, such as this hidden staircase, which we'll get to in just a moment. But the redstone is very simple. We have a tripwire hook, and we do have redstone on both sides that is being activated. So this will extend our piston forward, powering this redstone, deactivating that torch, causing that piston to retract our block down, and at the same time, this will push this piston up to create an observer clock, and then that in turn will fire off our dispensers here. So it sounds like a mouthful, but really it's not that bad. So you can see it best from here. If we trip our wire like that, we can see our observer clock going up, the blocks retract, and then of course once we step away, everything goes back to the way it was. Making our way upstairs, we come to this piston feed tape right here. So as I mentioned, these blocks here were dud buttons, so those were just for show. The one that we needed to press was this one here, and you can see that activates our piston feed tape that brings our cauldron around. Now we could have been pushing a chest around with items inside, because all we need to do is have this comparator detect whatever is there, so that will power that block, powering this redstone, which will then activate this observer here. So I think it did open up. Now this part was tricky. You can see I do have a dropper right here, running the line all the way down without it interfering with the hidden arrow turret. So I think I did a very good job with that. I was very proud of how I figured that out. So I have an observer, very expensive though, if we were doing this in survival. Observer being detected. There was a block here, which would then power the dropper, and then that would be detected by the observer line going all the way down. And then if we make our way downstairs, our observer line continues all the way down to this T flip-flop here. And let's go ahead and remove these blocks. That T flip-flop would power this redstone line, which would then activate the circuit for our hidden staircase. And again, I just did a tutorial on this last Sunday, so I'll go ahead and post a link to that in the description below as well, and there should be a card popping up in the top corner as well. So that part is done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom floor here. Now we're going to move on to the traps that I set downstairs. This one, I just kind of needed something to fill in this area because it was a bit empty. In a regular jungle temple, this is where the levers would be for that trapdoor there. But what I thought was that we could have some sort of trap for grave robbers who got a little bit too greedy. So if they went ahead and opened the chest, as you saw, that dispensed these potions here, and they wouldn't actually make it to the real treasure that would be down in that direction. They would be stopped dead in their tracks, quite literally, right here. So this redstone is very easy. What we have is a trapped chest. So once we open that, you can see that activates the redstone down below. So the repeaters are on. The redstone torches have turned off to the left side. And then once we close the chest, that turns back on, activating that block, firing our dispensers, and of course dispensing our potions there. Now for this area, this doesn't need much explanation. It's very simple. All we have here are droppers with pressure plates on top, like that. So these are connected, so they will be synced with each other. Now here, I have a glass path. Well, I kind of destroyed it, but we have a glass path, and like I said, we do have the correct path, which I believe goes this way. Nope. Nope. So you can see where the correct path would be and where all the traps would be. Now here, this one doesn't have anything in it, but these two are equipped with arrows. Now the reason why I did this is because below here we do have a redstone line, and that goes all the way down here. You can see it just makes its way down this way, and that goes to our one-time use double piston extender down below. So that is what traps or triggers our trap. So if we step on that, and that should have activated the redstone there. There we go. So if we go ahead and remove all this, We can see this is a one-time use only that pushes up 2 blocks, and then we are trapped inside. And finally, we have the last trap here, and this is also the treasure if we pick the right one, and that is the idol room, or in this case, they are the Totem of Undying, but I've been calling them idols because that's what they are being used for in this case. So like I said, we have 2 wrong choices here, and if you don't know, if we have an item frame here with an item on it, that will let off a redstone output if we use comparators. So all I'm doing here is detecting the state of the comparator. So the 2 wrong choices are hooked up to these observers here. So once we remove it, that will be updated, and that will give us a redstone pulse activating our traps, as you see right here. And of course, if we pick the right one, that is also being detected by this observer here, and that's being detected by that observer, powering this block, powering our redstone line, which then goes into this T flip-flop here, retracting our blocks right there. So if we put that back, you can see that in action. And that is all the redstone for the Jungle Temple. And there you have it, everyone, the Redstone Jungle Temple. This is the end of our video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I'm out. I'll see you later.